Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to our live stream. For those of you who might have just stumbled across this account, I teach conversation English. Every week I offer a new topic. We have conversation points, vocabulary words, creative writing opportunities, learn phrasal verbs, idioms. I come from the United States originally, but I live in Germany. I've been here for a long time, very long time. Today's topic happens to be Earth. It's a nice topic. Like I admitted in my lesson yesterday, the way that I work this is that I start the lesson on EWA on Instagram on Tuesdays and bring the second half over to YouTube on Wednesdays. And there is said already, hello, Michaela, darling, hello. I said yesterday, I don't really know much about this subject, so I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people out there that A, will know a lot more than I do, and B, probably correct some of the things that I say. But that's kind of the point of my lessons is I like to offer, hello, Yuki dear. I like to offer people, Lorena, hello, ladies, hello, hello. I like to offer people the opportunity to talk, and it's a conversation. So although I am teaching English, I am not an expert on 90% of the things that we talk about. And I think that's good because it's not me saying, hello. Okay, I think we had an internet issue. I'm going to go off really quickly just to see that I'm on the right network. Let me just check real quick. Should be okay. But let's see. I'm still here, I promise. Let me find out what network yet. That should be good. And back to you. Hello. So yeah, I hope the doorbell won't ring today. I had a package delivered earlier today, so hopefully that will be the last thing that we have going on. So yeah, so these topics are for us to all discuss, to learn from each other. I love having this international community that we have. Sorry, something strange with the internet today. I'm sorry. Hello, Ruto. Hello, I started following you on Iwa. Now I watch you on YouTube. Super happy to have you on board. I look forward to getting to know you better. Let me pop up our first question of the day and let's get started, right? So my first question to all of you is, what images spring to mind? What pops in your head when you hear the word Earth? Okay, what can you tell me? The first thing that pops into your head. Hello, Hitoko. Hello, Brigitte. Hello, Ilal. Hello, good morning to you in Brazil. Awesome, nice little community today. Hello. It's like I like the beginning of the 5, 4, 3, 2. What do you? I wasn't quite sure if that's kind of cheesy or okay. Okay, thank you for the feedback. 5, but I think that like the first second on the 5, you see whatever I'm doing, so I have to be careful. I don't know. So I loved you are when you are live on YouTube. Yes, and I am alive. I have a heartbeat, and I go live meaning at this moment, like a live band. They're playing at the moment, and alive is when you have a heartbeat. Beautiful water, blue planet. Thank you, Yuki, pulling us back on track. Images that pop into your head the second you hear the word Earth. So yeah, when I think of Earth, I see it as like, from outer space. Yuki, is that what you have in mind as well? Images from outer space. I think of blue oceans. I think of like this black around this beautiful spherical form with the green and the blue. It looks so beautiful, so incredible. Sunsets. Okay, cool. So sunsets, maybe sunrises. What else do you think about when you think of the word Earth, when you hear the word Earth? Hey, Alessio, welcome. I know you're really busy, so pop in and out, no stress. Diversity. Ooh, I like that. Because diversity can apply to so many different things, like having lots of different kinds of animals or different types of people or landscapes on Earth as well. I love that word. Beautifully put together with Earth, because that is what we have. We have a lot of diversity. Google Earth. Yes, Google Earth image, I guess. Yeah, thank you for that. I love that. I love that, the diversity factor, because I think that's something that I wouldn't have thought of to begin with, but actually it works really nicely with this. Anybody else want to share anything? Otherwise, we will pop on to our next point here. What do I have? That's not right. That's from yesterday. I have a little poll for us. A lot of colors of the nature. Yeah, so many beautiful colors, so many amazing, like when you think of nature, sometimes we went to South Africa several years ago and we found, oh, shoot. Oh, no, that's for tomorrow. I need to remember. But I will bring this for our quiz tomorrow. But we found this shell, this purple shell, and the designs on the shell are so intricate and so beautiful. It's like lace. It's like somebody carved something intricate and beautiful, the symmetry, the perfection. And you see that a lot in nature when when you look at it and you blow up the image, and you can see the detail and the beauty of so many things on our planet, the mystery of life. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So I'm going to throw us onto our first poll question of the day, and I keep kicking us all out of my area here. Let me get rid of our thing here, and let's see. Poll question. All right. What do you think is the biggest environmental challenge facing Earth today? Is it climate change? Is it deforestation? So getting rid of the trees, so not having a forest, the lack of forest, killing the forests, chopping them down, pollution, or the loss of biodiversity? Okay, so another way of using that, the biodiversity. So hello, Karina, dear, welcome. Perfect timing for our poll. What would you say is the biggest challenge we face today? No one can beat natural design, right? It's incredible. It is so beautiful. You look to a person's eye and you see all the different shapes. It's just so amazing. So let's see. So what do you think is our biggest challenge? I'm going to try to get us back on track here. What can you tell me? Or you can have something totally different. Maybe there's something not on this list that you also feel is an issue, or a bigger issue, perhaps. I think sometimes our biggest challenge on Earth is people. Unfortunately, it just seems like we do not learn. I don't understand it. I am one of them, so I know this for myself. But yeah, so Michaela says A. All right, so climate change. Okay. Ilil says pollution. People don't have enough discipline. Okay, so they're not using things properly, throwing them away where they need to, I guess. I think the biggest environmental challenge today is climate change. Climate change. Hey, Omer, welcome on board. Climate change and pollution. The biggest challenge is human behavior. Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, we just want more, but there is also, I think, the aspect that our planet is alive, right? We've had multiple ice ages. We have things that change on our planet all the time. Continents that are together, then separate. So we're living on a living entity. So it has its own change that sometimes is human related, I think, and sometimes not human related. It's just part of its own makeup, I would say. Climate change is a serious problem. Okay. I think we will talk more about this later. So I'm not going to focus so much on this because I would like to hear more information from you about this. But I think it's coming up later on. So if it's not, remind me and we will go back to this at the end of our lesson. So then let's move on to our next point. And let's see what I've got for you. All right. So our carbon footprint. Number one, what is a carbon footprint? What can you tell me? I would say pollution. Okay, Alicia? So what's a carbon footprint? You know what? We'll kind of do these, I think, a little bit together. These feet are kind of freaky, right? With a chopped off thing. That looks a little gross. I wish that I had not done that. Maybe it had gone up. But anyway, here you have it. So what is a carbon footprint? How can you reduce your carbon footprint? People don't understand that war is the worst for the world. It could destroy our planet. Yes, I worry about that as well. And I think it becomes scarier and scarier if different groups get their hands on weapons, then that could be a serious problem for us. So not only countries, I worry about individuals. Yeah, as well. I don't know. We live in a very interesting time. I think everyone and every time thinks they live in an interesting time, but I really think we live in an interesting time. That is true. Okay, so what is a carbon footprint, and how can we reduce our carbon footprint? It refers to the amount of gases, okay? And I'm also going to look and see if I have a nice little definition for us. I hope I do, because I'm the worst at explaining these things. No, I don't. So yeah, the amount of gases, so I guess just gases? I'm not sure. That a person uses, you can assign a number to yourself and see how many natural resources you use, how much you waste. And the idea is to try to leave this planet one day, not today, but one day, in a way where we have not used up all of our resources and we have used things properly. So how can you reduce your carbon footprint? How can you use the natural resources and the stuff that we have on our planet in a good way? For me, I fly a lot. So that's not really a good thing, I know. When I'm in Hamburg, I take my bike a lot. I don't own a car anymore. I try to walk a lot. So I try to be mindful of things in that way. The amount of CO2 created, everything we left onto Earth when we leave this world, and LEAVE. Yes, we leave the world. It is the total amount of greenhouse gases that are generated by our actions. Beautiful definition. Thank you, Alessio. So what are some things that we can do to reduce this? How can we be conscious of this? Let's maybe think of water, electricity, gases, all kinds of different stuff, products. Let's try to think of it in terms of that. Of all of the different aspects of our life that we could try to reduce, minimize, lessen. What are some things that we can do? For me, like turning off the lights when I leave the room, that's a big thing. Yeah, Alessia's definition is perfect. Exactly. Here, you know what we're going to do, Alessia? We're going to give you a little honor here. There we go. Ooh, look at that definition. It is the total amount of greenhouse gases that are generated by our actions. So what can we do to make sure that to try to lessen, to try to reduce our carbon footprint? I could travel less, but yeah, no, I don't know. We take the train whenever we can. Yeah, exactly, to try to cut down on the use of car. Okay, so use of car, try to not do that so often. Take public transportation, walk, bike, car share, take a car together with other people, perhaps. I don't know if you have in other European countries here, do you have the van service Moya? It's a van service that goes around and you can take a van with other people. It's kind of like a van taxi kind of thing. Reducing consumption, reusing items, recycling materials. Great words. Thank you. Thank you. Here, I'm going to plop Alessio's down and put yours up. There you go, Michaela. So reducing our consumption. Reusing items, repurposing items. Maybe if you had jeans and they get a hole in them, then you cut them off and you have shorts. That's an idea. There are lots of different ways. Eat less meat, another one, okay? Maybe also like trying to buy food that you need for the week so you don't throw food out could also be a way of trying to reduce your carbon footprint and be more conscious of what's going on. Any other suggestions that people would like to add? Otherwise, let's move on to number 3. What can governments do to encourage more people to recycle and reduce waste? I think that it's important that governments put things into action because often as people, we don't really, we're like, okay, I'll try. But I think if governments get more involved and incentivize it, then maybe, it's a tricky situation, right? You don't want to be controlled by the government, but something can happen, right? Maybe we should improve circular economy. What is a circular economy? Lorena, please help me. I don't know what that is. Let me know what that is, please. So what are some things that the government can do? Already in Germany, the government has on every single bottle here, you see, it says here, let me boop, 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 boop. It says Mehrweg there, somewhere here. And that means that you can use this multiple times and that you have a deposit on this bottle. So people take it back to the store because they want their money back. So that incentivizes not just throwing it away, that incentivizes that this bottle is actually going to make it back to a store. What are some other ways, or maybe you can tell me some ways that your government tries to incentivize using less and lowering our carbon footprint? Can you think of some ways? I guess in essence also when cities have good public transportation, then that acts as an incentive to use public transportation and to not drive around in a car, to use things together. In the States, we have on highways, we have carpool lanes. So if you are traveling with one other person, you can go into another lane for only people with multiple people in the car, and it's usually much faster. So that's another way to for governments to be able to incentivize lowering one's carbon footprint. Yuki, I try to avoid buying new products, okay? We fix and use everything longer. Also, we buy secondhand cardboard and food waste. So when you say secondhand cardboard, what do you use that for? And food waste, would that be food that has an expiration date? The date, here, let me write that in the comments because that's a good word. The date that you find on packaging of food, on perishable food. Oops, sorry, hold on. Educational commands. Yes, exactly. Sorry. So, hold on. Perishable is a word, perishable, and I'm going to pop that up there for us, perishable. Why is that not working? Here we go. All right. So perishable is when something can go bad, okay? Things that are in a can are perishable, but it takes a long time for them to go bad. But fruit and vegetables that you buy, those are perishable foods, yogurt, and you have a date on all of this kind of food and also on canned food, but expiration date. This is the date which you will find that will show you when a product is going to go bad. So expiration date. Yes. So maybe Yuki, you buy food that is past the expiration date, because quite often yogurts and things like that are past the expiration date, they are still good for like a week or so. And so I think there's actually a new law in Germany or in Europe, I don't know, they're changing that because they find that so many people are throwing out food that is actually still okay. So they're going to change that. Secondhand products could be related to cars and clothing. That's true too. Yeah, absolutely. So Hitoko, she does a compost, or she has a compost, or she compost. You can use it as a verb. Yes, you do. Okay, so you buy food after the expiration date because it's typically still really good. So it's not actually bad. Okay, let's move on to our next point. And what have I got? I don't know why this keeps going. Every time it always jumps back to Tuesday, but we're on Wednesday. So let me see what I've got for us here. Is there anything else that I have? So drive less, save water. Like, I don't like to get into the shower when it's cold. I think what I should do is put a bucket underneath the water, so that when it gets warm, then by the time it gets warm, the bucket is full, and then I can use that maybe for gardening purposes or for something else. I always feel guilty that I get into the shower and it's not cold. It takes a while. Let's see, anything else? Choose sustainable products is another thing. Plant trees is on my list. Yeah, so those are the things. I also make vegetables myself and preserve for the winter. Great word. So you grow vegetables yourself, Yuki, and I'm going to pop up your comment, and you preserve them. Yes, preserve, meaning that you either jar or can them. You probably put them in a jar. You preserve them so they last longer. Anything that you preserve, you make sure that it stays longer. You can use this for things other than food as well. Okay, so let's see. Brigitte, I remember when I lived in Switzerland, there they have 2 expiration dates on food. Cool. One shows the date the shops can sell the food, and the other date till you can eat it. That's very smart. And if the date was after what the shop would sell it for, would that be on sale? Could you get it for a lower price? That would be very cool if you could. Thank you for sharing that. And let's see. And I have another question for you, I think. Yes. So, oh, hold on. Let me get rid of this because this is too complicated. Okay, there we go. So does your religion have an explanation for the creation of Earth? Does your religion have an explanation for the creation of Earth? If you are not a religious person, what does science tell us? What do you believe? So just trying to find different examples of what people feel, or what people think are the ways that the Earth was created. What can you tell me? Hello, Tony. Welcome, welcome. So perfect timing to share your thoughts. What is your religion? Does your religion have an explanation for how our world came about? Or also, if you're not religious, then what do you think? What does science tell you? What do your thoughts tell you? Maybe you have your own concept of how the Earth came about. With a Christian religion, I think in 7 days, God created it. So this is a kind of explanation. If you want to give a biblical or a religious one, then that's the way to do it. Or if you want, then you can tell me what does science say? Whatever science is. So what can you tell me? It's not an easy one. You can just give me bullet points if you want. You don't have to go into a long, lengthy thing. Yeah, takes some time. So what can you tell me? I'm not a religious person, so for me, I don't know. The story of the Christian way that it came about doesn't really resonate 100% with me. I don't disrespect it in any way, but and also science-wise, I don't know. I think it's always changing. There's always new information. Thank goodness we're learning. But I wouldn't really be able to tell you other than the Big Bang Theory. I'll type that in the comments here. Like the TV show. I love that TV show. I think that was so funny. All right, the Big Bang Theory. So anybody have anything they want to say? I don't know if you're writing. I'm not a religious person either, right? For my religion, God created it, but for me, it is just a mystery. Yeah. I think even if you believe in like the religious concept of how the earth was created, there's so much that's still a mystery. And I think that's somehow beautiful in a way. I wonder what life would be like if we actually really 100%, if we knew exactly how the earth was created. I wonder how that would change people. I think it would be by, oops, by a God. I'm sorry about my internet connection. It's Germany, you know. It's like living in the middle of a forest somewhere in a jungle. But yeah, when my things start spinning around, can you hear me at least? If you could give me a little feedback, that would be really good. Yeah. So I guess it depends on what you believe. I think nobody's into this question, so we're gonna move on, which is totally fine. Let's see where we're going. Okay, let's take a look at some idioms. And if you are writing something to answer this question, please continue. Don't give up on it. Otherwise, we will move on to our next point. Yeah, I would love to hear what you have to say. According to Christian religion, I think this is a cliffhanger. So you believe according to the Christian religion. Gotcha. Tony, I'm a Christian Catholic, so I think that science and religion can work well together. I believe that everything on this planet was perfectly designed by a superior entity, or as we call it, God. Okay, thank you for sharing. God created the earth in 7 days. Okay, super. Then let's take a look. We'll move on to our next point. Let me get rid of this banner, and we'll take a look at some idioms. So speaking of God, let me scooch over this way. I loved this with God and knitting the earth. I thought it was beautiful somehow, carefully constructing this piece of art. So here are some idioms. We have 1, down to earth. 2, move heaven and earth. 3, the salt of the earth. 4, cost the earth. 5, earth shattering. And for me, this is a little difficult to read, so I'm going to hop onto my iPad to read this. Yeah, but I hope it's okay for you. I am Catholic, but today I believe that God is energy and that we are all part of it. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Okay, and I think so too. We're all connected. I think this feeling that, you know, people are better or worse or whatever. It's like we're all connected. We need to help each other. And that's the beauty of our earth. So if we're all energy, then yeah, then it's not this hierarchy of things. So, all right, we have our idioms. Let's take a look at the definitions and then we can start matching them. I like the illustration of knitting the earth, right? Isn't it beautiful somehow? Thank you, Yuki. So a person who is very good, honest, and kind. B, to do everything possible to achieve something. C, very significant or surprising. D, practical, realistic, or humble. Humble, let me see if I can do this without giving, yeah. When you are very grounded, you know, when you don't think that you're better than other people, you're very humble. I like that word. And it's kind of one of these rare words in English where you have a B in the middle that you actually say the B, so humble, although maybe it's more on the end, like comb, dumb. Okay, anyway, because bumble, humble, crumble. So when you have an MB and then an LE, then you're going to say the L or the B. Let's see. So what can you tell me? What is number 1? If somebody is down to earth, if something is down to earth, what works best with number 1? Down to earth. What can you tell me? What are your guesses today? And I'm going to drink a little something. What works best with number 1? Down to earth. What can you tell me? I think everyone's kind of busy working today. I love that so many of you are working and you listen to my lesson. So I totally understand that you can't react all the time. No stress. So Yuki's going for B. All right. So Yuki, yeah, nice try. Nice try. It's not B. Let me see what B is. To do everything possible to achieve something. Okay. It's not B. It's not B. What else could it possibly be? How about how about D, right? So down to earth is D. This is the first time I see these idioms. Really? Okay, these are all really like very popular ones. Okay, D, exactly. Lorena, it's D. So down to earth, practical, realistic, and humble. A person who is down to earth is really, yeah, me too. Oh, good, good, good. I'm glad because these are all ones that are very popular. Yes, they're used quite a lot. So if somebody's down to earth, like I love it when you hear these stories about millionaires and billionaires and they drive around in old pickup trucks. These are people that are very down to earth. Maybe you can give me an example of someone who's down to earth. Knitting is typically a feminine activity. Curiously, in this image, there's a man. Yes. So number one is down to earth, somebody who's really, grounded. They're not snobby. They are not into material items. That's a person that is down to earth. What about to move heaven and earth? To move heaven and earth. What can you tell me works best with this one? And I'm glad that we have some new idioms here. That's cool. It's always good to learn new things. So number one was D. Number two, Lorena's going with B, and you are correct, okay? So to move heaven and earth is to do something, to do everything possible to achieve something. I don't know except down to earth. All the others are new. Okay, so you knew down to earth and a bit overwhelmed. No. We'll go through them slowly. Let me give you an example of a sentence for each of these. If you want to practice them as well, then no problem. Then you're more than welcome to do that. So number two was B. And here's an example of that. He moved heaven and earth to make sure the project was a success. Right? I would move heaven and earth to make sure that my kids have the things they need, right? These are examples of how you can use to move heaven and earth. You do everything possible to make something happen. I would move heaven and earth to conquer your heart. Oh, Tony. For me, all of your idioms are new because my English level is so basic. It's not basic, Michaela. You're doing a great job. Okay, thank you, Yuki. Got it. Moving on then. The salt of the earth, okay? The salt of the earth. What can you tell me? What works best with number three? The salt of the earth. What can you tell me? If somebody's described as this, I'll give you a little hint. It's a good thing. It's a really nice thing. So Lorena's going with three is C. Okay, there's another one, not quite. Number one was D, number two is B, and number three, not C. What else could it be? What can you tell me? Number three, what have we got? And this, yeah, okay, I've kind of given it away. So Yuki's going with A, exactly, okay? So the person who is very good and honest and kind. They are the salt of the earth. My grandmother was the salt of the earth. She always cooked for us. She took care of us. She listened to us. She was always there for us. She was the salt of the earth. So a person who's very kind, who's always there for you. And I'll give you, always helping people, always doing the right thing. So number one was D, two is B, and three is A. What's number four? So cost the earth. Yeah. What is number four? And I think it's starting to get kind of logical here. So it's a little just guessing. Well, good guess, Yuki. Very good guess. What can you tell me? So Lorena's going with E, exactly, right? Tony E, everyone's going with E, exactly. Something that's very expensive. So as a sentence, let me give you something. That designer bag cost the earth, but it's beautiful. So tell me something in your country that cost the earth, something that's very expensive. So in Germany, a lot of things are expensive. Food is not expensive. That doesn't cost the earth, but like gasoline costs the earth. I'm trying to think of other examples of things because I just said everything's expensive here. Food, like in restaurants, can cost the earth somehow. Yesterday, there was an idiom to go to the ends of the earth. Yeah. Is it similar to move heaven and earth? More. So to move heaven and earth, thank you for bringing that up. To move heaven and earth is the actions that you will do to make something happen, and to go to the ends of the earth, how you would do it in a way. The car cost the earth. A car costs the earth in my country. Tony, I thought you were in Canada. Where are you? Let me know, please. I thought that too. Hitoko-san? Okay, Hitaku-san. Okay, so you thought that as well. Yeah, so to go to the ends of the earth, and so you do things, and then to move heaven and earth, you're making things happen. Nowadays, cars cost the earth. Yes, in Italy, the gasoline cost the earth. An Hermes bag cost the earth. So it's just a way of saying something is very expensive, kind of in a very dramatic way. And last but not least, I live in Nicaragua in Central America. Okay, I thought Canada. I don't know why. Okay, anyway, nice to have you here. So earth shattering. So something is earth shattering. Last but not least, it's very surprising, very significant, or very surprising. Quite often for me, I'm a native Spanish speaker. Your English is really good. So quite often, if something is earth shattering, it's negative. Like you can receive earth shattering news. For me, when I found out that my brother, my sister, my dad died, that was earth shattering for me. My whole world stopped, changed, broke for these moments, right? So anytime so it's quite often, I can't think of an example where it's used as something positive. Maybe sometimes, I don't know, but quite often you hear earth shattering and news, earth shattering information, earth shattering, something like that, meaning that it's something that is just really devastating to hear, as an idea of how to use that. Let me see what sentence I have. Her company, let's see, her decision to leave the company was an earth-shattering moment for the team. 9/11 news was earth-shattering. Exactly. That was earth-shattering to find out about that. Super example, Yuki. Yeah, and in this case, her decision to leave the company was an earth-shattering moment for the team. Her team really depends on her, on this person. And so in her company, this is going to change everything. They were shocked in the negative way. They might be happy for her, but it's earth-shattering because everything is going to change. And to shatter something is something that breaks. So if this glass, if I drop it on the ground, and it goes into a million pieces, then it is shattered. So in this case, I would like to be more participative, but I am working right now. No stress. The majority of the people here are working. Hello, Sabine. Welcome. So you participate as much as you can, as much as you want. There's never stress from my side. Oh, that's a fun pink hand. All right. Let's move on to the next thing that I have got for you. So I have a nice little story for us, little story moment, a picture story, and you can tell me what's going on. So with my stories, there's never a right or a wrong. It's always about kind of where you want to take the story. So you can talk about the environment, you can talk about the person in this, you can talk about the creatures, you can talk about anything you want. There's not a right or a wrong. So you can create it in any way, shape, or form that you like. And I'm going to take a little look and see how we're doing on time, because last week I was so surprised. I could not believe it was 2 hours. I am so sorry. When I got off of this, I was like, oh, we have been online for an hour and 55, and I will not do that to you today. So, and as a reminder, I will go live tomorrow morning with my quiz for the first time here on YouTube. There's a lot of changes going on EWA, so I probably will be less and less on EWA. They're going to reduce their live streams, and so that means I get the cut. But it's good because it forces me to come here and to do things here. It's a little, yeah. Being pushed. So, all right. So what can you tell me? We have these little guys here. I think they're beavers. Yeah. I wanted to say otters, but I think these guys, they've built a little dam thing here. So this is a beaver. I'll write the name. Beaver. Oops. 1 beaver, 2 beavers. Beaver. And beavers love to build dams. And so this is D-A-M, not D-A-M-N. That's a cuss word. So dam. So what can you tell me? These are beavers, and we have, it looks like a lumberjack, maybe, or maybe you think he's something else. I don't know. You can decide whatever he is. A lumberjack is the person who cuts down logs. So, yeah. And so you can tell me anything you like. And a little feedback. I don't know, does everybody enjoy the stories that I do on EWA? Because I'm not quite sure. It takes a lot of the lesson. So I'm never really sure if this is a good thing or not a good thing. Yeah, if you want to give me some feedback. And also these stories, do you like them or prefer not to have them? I'm always trying to create less. So I don't know if you can hear me when my internet goes out. Yeah, this guy moved from New York City to the countryside and living sustainable lifestyle with fireplaces. Okay, so he's not a lumberjack. He's just a guy living in the country. Maybe he's living off the grid. I'll type that too. You love story lesson. Okay, good. But you can also say you hate it. That's okay. But I do love them, so I'm happy. Anyway, this is really unfair. I'm not being unbiased at all. All right, so off the grid. So you think he's living off the grid, meaning he's not living in a mainstream life with indoor plumbing necessarily and electricity that he's paying for. He's doing things on his own. He's off the grid. Yeah. Anybody else have anything that they would like to contribute? Maybe you're still writing, which is no problem. If you have anything you want to add, then not a problem. Otherwise, we will continue on. And the idea of the story is a great idea. Okay, good. Okay. So I don't know. So I'm not trying to fish or anything, fish for compliments. I just really would like to get feedback so that I know which things to incorporate and not. Dam, okay? An infrastructure to create energy from water. I know the meaning of this word from an engineering perspective. Yes, but also dams, they can also create, so beavers create them as well, where they sort of make things, they create them in rivers and sometimes cause problems. So yeah, super and great definition. Can be having internet connection and working at home. Yes, okay. So maybe he has internet connection and he's working from home. He's a digital nomad. I'll write that in there too. So people who work nomad, and I try to be that as well. I would love to be even more of a digital nomad, live around the world and work. Hey, Mohammed, Amish people living in Texas. I think the Amish, they're not in Texas, I don't think. I think it's more, I think Kansas or let's Google it and see. Can be, okay, yeah. Digital nomad, that was me. Let me see where the Amish people live. I'm curious because I think it's more up in the north in the United States. Amish people, but they are fascinating, right? Where they don't live. Maybe it's an Amish person. That's so cool. Yeah, I wouldn't have put that together, but he does look kind of Amish, right? Amish. So let's see where they live. I don't think it's Texas, but let's find out where it is. All right, in North America, let me do Amish people. Where do they live? Where do they live? Okay. So in Pennsylvania, yeah, in Pennsylvania. So to give you an idea where that is, let me plop that up here. Let's see. So Pennsylvania is up north. So Texas is down below there. Let me see if I can get that in there. Okay. Texas is down in the middle, and Pennsylvania is more, I can't do. PA is the abbreviation there, up in the dark blue. So close to, I think, New York. The beaver in the water is me in my next life. Yeah, kicking back, eating some fish. I hear you. Yeah, it looks kind of like a nice life somehow. All right, so let's move on and see what we've got. Excuse me. So my question to you is this, and maybe you can help me out here. I went to Shaker's Village to see Amish life. No way, Yuki, that's so cool. So that's nice, Yuki. What, can you tell me anything about it? Can you go and kind of see how they live their life, or is it more just like looking from, over a fence kind of thing? I wonder. Otherwise, it would seem sort of like an animal zoo if you could go in and see them. I don't know. All right, so let's do this. What's your favorite type of a landscape on Earth? Is it mountains, forests, deserts, or oceans? And can you think of any words related? Okay, I'll repeat. Beaver, that's cute. All right, so question here. We have mountains. We have oceans. Well, it's not really a landscape, is it? Well, I guess it is. Yes, oceans, forest, and deserts. So not deserts with two S's, one S, desert, the dry place. So I will add this. And so now I'm asking for us to brainstorm some words that are related to these types of landscapes that we have on Earth. Maybe you can tell me your favorite one, and you can also tell me words that are related to them. So mountains, you could say, oceans, big, deep, that kind of thing. River Ravi, okay. So thinking of landscapes, what can you tell me? What works best, or what are some words that you can think of in terms of mountains, in terms of oceans, in terms of forest? I don't want to give things away. Yeah, I was just thinking of one for ocean, but I have it on a slide for us in just a second. Yeah, so I don't want to give it away. Or deserts. So it was more like a past thrown away village. So do you mean it was kind of like a ghost town? So like in the Wild West, where you see these places where people used to live and they no longer live, a ghost town? Was it kind of like that? K2, okay. So, and I'm looking for adjectives related to these. Jen, maybe this is nothing that can matter, but I know some things about your country because I work designing wood structures for your country, Colorado to be specific. It's totally interesting. Let us know. Yes, it was. Okay, so it was a ghost town, which in all honesty, I find a little bit nicer. I would freak out if I could go and see how these people live and they actually live that way. I think it would feel a little Disney-esque. I like both mountains and beaches, city too. For me, I would like to visit the desert. I would like to live in the desert, like Maldives. That's an island though? Is there, I don't know. My city is, okay. I'm gonna pull up a slide for us that's going to offer us several options for new adjective, hopefully new, some new, maybe some old, and you can tell me what you know. Lakes, okay. So let's see what I've got for you here. Okay, so these are, let me get rid of this. Hold on, I have to go back to our comments. and get rid of that. There we go. Okay. So for mountains, a couple of words that can be used to describe mountains. Peak. Okay. So like the top. A range. Oh, sorry, a ridge. A mountain ridge. So that's like the top part when you have a long line across the top. We've walked on one of those before in Bavaria. It was very scary. It's really high up. And a range, a mountain range where you have a series of mountains that are connected together. So you can have the peak, you can have the ridge, you can have the range where you have multiple different mountains that are connected together. I've never seen the ocean, but the sea landscape is my favorite because it transmits me a strong sense of freedom. Really, you've never seen the ocean? Okay, well, I wish that for you. So number 2, deserts. And if you have any other words like these that you would like to add, please. Hey, Soledad, dear, welcome. Please be my guest and add anything that you would like to it, okay? So I live in 3, in forest, nice. So deserts, we have dunes. So these are the big sand areas that are often used to protect the land. Arid, so meaning that it's very dry, the opposite of humid. Let me write that on the list here. So when the air is very wet, that's called humid. And when the air is very dry, it's arid. Alpine, the Alps are a mountain range. Exactly. Super, Lorena. And an oasis. So, you go into the desert and you see suddenly some water, a little pond maybe, and some palm trees perhaps around it, an oasis. Then we have forest, so woodland, a canopy, and wildlife. When we talk about a canopy, then we're talking about when the trees, I'm trying to be small, the trees at the top of the trees, right? All of this vegetation that grows at the top, that's the canopy. So I guess when you're in areas where there are monkeys, they love to hang out in the canopy up at the top up there. I think that's a fun word for that area. And wildlife, lots of different things that live in the forest. My city is placed on a hill, so we have cool weather and the Pacific Ocean in front of us, a few miles from a city. So I live in a captivating city. Sounds gorgeous. Foothill cliff. Ooh, good ones. Awesome. So a cliff, you can just fall off. Hopefully not. It's so funny to practice sandboarding in the dunes. You've done that? That's so cool. I would love to do that. Oh, that must be so fun. Does it hurt when you fall, or is it super, like it's easy? It doesn't hurt. I'm curious. So oceans, what we have here? We have currents. We have tides, so we can have high tide and low tide when the water is closer to the beach and when it retreats, when it goes away. And we have the coastline. So these are just some extra vocabulary words to add. I'm curious how many of these we have. 3, 4, so we have 12 words. How many of the 12 words are new? Gorgeous environment, right? Tony, you have to send us well, I wish people could send, well, I don't know, maybe not, but pictures in the comments. Yeah, it could be dangerous. But yeah, so 12 words, how many of these words are new for you? Just to kind of give me an idea. Tide could be really dangerous, definitely. Yeah. So what can you tell me how many of these words are new? Out of the 12, how many are new for you? Move on to our next point. Yes, and I'm going to hurry up a little bit. Let's see. So you can write that in the comments if you like. You can also write it. This live stream will, of course, be saved, so you can always write it. If you're watching the replay, then let me know how many words are new. Otherwise, we will continue on to our next point. Okay, so what's the most amazing natural place you've ever visited? So what is for you heaven on earth? What do you think is beautiful? What can you tell me with number 1? So about 4 were new. 4 of them were new. Cool. 4. In my country, we have many volcanoes. Okay, so we can practice sandboarding and climbing. Please go to Google to look for, okay, I will, to look for Cerro Negro volcanoes. You will definitely love it. 7 out of 12. Okay, good. All right, so I'm glad that some were new, some were known. Thank you for your feedback. I appreciate it. You can hop on to number 1. What to you is the most beautiful place? It hurts when you fall. Oh no, well, maybe I don't want to do it. I'm kind of a wimp like that. All right, so let's see, Tony, what are you saying here? Cerro, okay, let's see. Cerro Negro, oops, volcano, popped right up. Oh, nope. Wow, that's gorgeous. And there's a picture of somebody on it. Hold on, let's see, let me find images to be able to share with you. So this is it from far away. I don't know if I'm allowed to share photos on here, but I'm doing it. Let's see. How can I do this? Visit. We'll see if this will work now. So, in another language, here we go. So this is what that looks like. There's a volcano mountain that Tony was talking about in Nicaragua. All right, let me see if I can find some other pictures. Cerro Negro, Nicaragua. It's all in Spanish so that I'm out. Ooh, this is it erupting in 1947. All right. About 50% is unknown. Glacier National Park and Archies National Park. Glaciers. Ooh, so that was probably when you saw the Northern Lights. I'm imagining that same trip, I guess. And where is Archies National Park? About 50% unknown. Michaela, what is 50% unknown? What could you tell me? Beautiful minerals, I think that is, in this on this volcano. When was the last time it erupted? I'm curious, Tony, if you're still here, when it erupted the last time. Is that a danger or is it dormant right now? It's sort of sleeping, dormant. What can you tell me? All right. And then let's move on to number 2. What's one animal on Earth you'd love to see in its natural habitat? So which animal are you crazy about that you would really love to see in its natural habitat? What can you tell me? I definitely don't want to see a kangaroo. It's probably going to make me very unpopular, but I find them so freaky, you know, with these really muscular bodies and, you know, all of this action. They totally freak me out. I do not understand why people are into kangaroos. But a koala, I would love to hold a koala, but I guess it's a little not in its natural environment. We will see gorillas in their natural environment in January. I spent some days, and I'm going to mispronounce this, I'm sorry, Cunayala in Panama, a lot of very little islands. Google it. Okay, I will. Thank you. I hope I'm not going to go to YouTube jail by showing these photos. I don't know if anybody knows anything about this, but yeah, I'll show it quickly. Maybe that would be less jail time. So I think I'm back. So let me type in here, Cunayala. Ooh. No, wait, that's Gunayala. Is it Guna or Kuna? With a K or a G? Okay, so the Arches National Park is in Colorado. Okay, I don't know it. I don't know about 50% of your words. Okay, thank you. Okay, Michaela, did you understand them after I described them or still not so much? Is it, I should come to Pakistan. Yes, I would love to go everywhere in the world. That's my problem. I would love to go everywhere. Cool, oh, here we go. So, it's also called Gunayala. And so let me find some pictures for you, for us. I will share them kind of quickly because I don't want to go into YouTube hell. Swan and dodo. Okay, so 2 birds. Thank you, Mohammed, for sharing. This looks really beautiful. So this is, oops, I have all of these things accepted and get rid of this. Okay. Oh. Pop up. So little islands like this, does that make sense? Sounds gorgeous. Let me see. And this, and ooh, did you get to stay in something like that? That looks nice. I want to play with dolphins and see penguins in New Zealand. I got to see penguins in South Africa. It's really funny because they've just decided to live in this one part of outside of Cape Town. They moved there like 15 years ago and have taken over the beach. It's pretty funny. I'd love to see hippos. We saw some in Zimbabwe. It was so cool. They're amazing creatures. Okay, oh my goodness. I don't know how to pronounce this. So Glacier National Park is in Montana. Okay, that was in Montana and not your Northern Lights experience. Yes, I understood. Perfect. Thank you for the feedback. That's a young volcano where you can do sandboard. It erupted 50 years ago. If I'm not mistaken, we have many earthquakes because of the volcanoes and because of the fire ring. Then it's probably good you live in the hills. I think that's the safest place to live when you are near earthquakes, because the earthquakes, I think the mountains absorb the shock. Yes, you got to stay on one of those? Wow, Soledad, that's so cool. What a beautiful place to stay. All right, let's move on then to number 3. Which would you prefer to explore? Volcanoes, glaciers, or rainforest? What could you say? Which one of these is on your list? For me, all of them. I don't want to decide. I want to see all of them at once. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious like that. But if I had to pick, I'm kind of itching to like see glaciers, to smell it, to hear them. Yeah, it must be fascinating. So let's start for me with glaciers. I'd like to see glaciers first. While you're answering, I'm going to slowly move on to our next slide because I have promised you to not keep you here for 2 hours again. My apologies for last time. And we have 1, 2, 3 more slides. So we should be out of here in less than 30 minutes, I would say. Let's see. Yes. All of them. Exactly. Right? Yuki, we don't want to decide. We want to see them all. Let's see. All right. So we're going to talk about packaging, okay, because this is a big issue when it comes to human involvement on our planet, the way that we put our items in. So we have paper and cardboard, plastic, glass, metal, wood, and biodegradable. Okay, different types of packaging that we can match up with. And I'm going to read this on my computer because I can't see this. Look for, okay. Ometepe Island, please. Okay, that's period. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Y'all can start matching these up. Let me read through the definitions right quickly. Number 1A, is strong, reusable, biodegradable. Biodegradable, I should pronounce that properly. To be reusable, recyclable, biodegradable. So biodegradable means that if something can degrade, that it can be broken down. And biodegradable means that it's an organic way in which something can be broken down. I hope that helps. Let's see. Reusable, recyclable, and non-reactive. C, lightweight, recyclable, and cost-effective. D, environmentally friendly, reduces waste. E, durable, tamper-proof. In a lot of words here that might not be clear, you're more than welcome to ask me, of course. A long shelf life. F, durable, versatile, and waterproof. All right, so I'm going to look up Tony's Island really quickly. Let's start with number 1, paper and cardboard. Which of these definitions works best for this kind of packaging? Let me find your island. All right, so Tony, what was that? That was, okay, Ometepe or Ometepe, I don't know. I think I'm pronouncing Nicaragua. Here we go. Ooh, so this is another volcano, I guess. Let's see. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. It's unfair. I'm not showing the picture. I'm trying to find like the picture to show. Okay, I'm just picking one, Tony. So, I don't know. Let's see. It looks like a volcanic island. Is that it? All right. That is Ometepe, I think. Oceans, I'd love to see a seal. Yeah, seals. All of them, I wish I could be a millionaire to visit every single beautiful place in this world. Me too. So Yuki's saying that number one is C for paper and cardboard. She's keeping us on track. Thank you, Yuki. One is C. Thank you. So paper and cardboard, C, lightweight, recyclable, and cost effective. That's the best description for packaging that is paper or cardboard. What about number two? Plastic. What can you tell me? When one is C and number two, which one works best with that, with plastic? What can you say? Plastic. So I'm trying to see what the answer is. I always have to do this. Okay. Kind of a lot of these might work. So plastic. Two, Alessia's going with F. Exactly, right? It's durable, versatile, and waterproof. And just to go over these words, exactly. So one is C, two is F. Durable, meaning that it can take a lot of moving around, right? Like glass is not very durable. It falls on the ground, it breaks. With plastic, it can fall on the ground and it has a very good chance of surviving. Versatile, you can use it in many different ways. So durable and versatile are words you can use for a lot of different things. And waterproof, I think, is clear. Yes. So one is C, two is F, three, glass. Which one works best with glass? What can you tell me? Number three. In Peru, we have beautiful beaches, mountains, and jungle. I would love to come to Peru too. My partner was there 2 years ago, and I'm so jealous. I wish I could have gone. But he went with his daughter, and so it was a nice little father-daughter trip, not the girlfriend trip. So I need to come on my own. I need to earn money here on YouTube and go to Peru. How about that? So, okay, we have guesses here. We have two. Yes, two is F. Three, Yuki's saying, is D. Not quite, not quite. I'm looking for something different. What can you tell me about that? Unfortunately, plastic is durable and it is not biodegradable. And I don't like to drink things out of plastic or eat things out of plastic. It kind of grosses me out. Aha, FM? I don't know. So one is C, two is F, and three, oh, sorry, hold on. Glass. What are we on with glass? Three is, what can you tell me with three? Three, should I just give it to you? B. Thank you, Lorena. So three is glass. It's B. Reusable, recyclable, and non-reactive. So it's a neutral material. What do we have for the meaning of non-reactive? That's a good question, actually. I guess, that like it doesn't I want to say, I don't know 100% to be quite honest, just being honest here. But I guess with plastic, they have chemicals and things in it that can react with a food, I guess. And glass doesn't have that. It's more neutral. This is what I'm thinking. Okay. I don't 100% know. And maybe also when it breaks up into the earth, then it's bad for the earth. I'm not sure. I should have looked up the answer better on that one. Sorry about that. But that's what I'm going with. If anybody has a different answer, we can brainstorm this together. Not a problem. And what about number four, metal packaging? Number one was C, 2F, 3B, 4. What can you tell me? What works best with 4 metal packaging? What can you tell me? What do we have for metal packaging? E, exactly, Lorena. Thank you. So durable, tamper-proof, and a long shelf life. Yes, and I like this. So durable, we have again, you can drop that can on the ground. It's not going to break. Tamper-proof, it's hard for people to get into it. So it's not that somebody can contaminate it somehow, or that it can be contaminated, like something else can go into it. And a long shelf life. So you buy a can of peaches, and it can last maybe a year or 2 years. So if something has a long shelf life, it lasts a long time. That's another way of saying that. So this is why I like this exercise, because it is using a lot of vocabulary that you can use in other ways. And number 5, what do we have for number 5? Is it A or D? We're down to the last 2. Wood packaging. What can you tell me about wood packaging? Number 5. So, and wood packaging would be like crates that you can carry different things in, pallets, things that are transported, wooden boxes, these kinds of things. Paper, and so paper would be boxes, plastic could be bottles, containers, shrink wrap. So what do we have for number 5? Yeah, number 5, hold on. Everyone's guessing D. It's actually A. So number 5 is A, strong, reusable, and biodegradable. So biodegradable, in this case, it's wood, right? You put wood into the earth, it's going to rot and it's going to become part of earth again. It's biodegradable. And last but not least, biodegradable and sustainable packaging is D, and that is environmentally friendly and reduces waste. Okay, I misunderstood tamper as temper. Oh, yeah. Yes, so temper is more like, you can have a good temper and you're easygoing, or you can have a bad temper and you get mad and upset sometimes. And tamper means that you mix with different things, or that you get into different things. When you have this nowadays with a lot of food. For example, I don't know if you have this with your toothpaste in your country, but in Germany, toothpaste either comes in a box or it comes with this little plastic silver thing on top of where the toothpaste comes out, because they don't want people to be able to get into it. They don't want people to be able to tamper with it. So tricky, 5 and 6. I know, I'm sorry. It's kind of like they kind of both work. Okay, so no worries, Yuki, you got them right. All right, let's move on to some vocabulary, which I hope that a lot of these are going to be things that you already know or repeaters. Yes, they are similar. It's true. I know a little English now. Well, every time you come and hang out with me, it will get better and better. I promise. All right, so vocabulary. We have habitat, biodiversity, non-renewable, deforestation, and an ecosystem. I always screw that up and call it an ecosystem, but that's like echo, but it's an ecosystem. A community of living things and their environment. B, the variety of living species on Earth. C, the natural home of plants or animals. D, the clearing of forest for other uses. And E, resources that cannot be replaced quickly, like coal or oil. So which one works best with habitat? Okay, what works best with habitat? With number 1, what can you tell me? Habitat. It's kind of a fun word, habitat. All right, so 1, exactly. Lorena and Alessio, you're absolutely right. Habitat. Number 1 is C, the natural home of plants or animals when we talk about their habitats. Do they live in a forest? Do they live in the ocean? The home of different things is a habitat. The best way to reduce carbon emissions is by using wood as the main material to build infrastructures. Wood has a long life and we can plant more trees. Super, great sentence too. So let's see, biodiversity, which one works? New vocabulary, really? Okay, good. Okay, but in talking about Earth and talking about things, these are also words that are not ones that you will never use, I think. So let's see. 2, Lorena's on the ball here. She's saying 2 is B, and you are correct, my dear. Biodiversity, the variety of living species on Earth. We talk about the biodiversity. It's so important that we have a lot of diversity. We have a lot of different types of things. Biodiversity. After work, bye, Soledad, dear. Bye. You can finish it later. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day, dear. All right, so then let's see. Number 3, non-renewable. We said number 1 was C, number 2 is B, and number 3, what works best with 3 non-renewable? What can you tell me? I think this one's going to be easy. Yes, Lorena, you're on the ball today. So number 3 is E, resources that cannot be replaced quickly. So yesterday, I think we talked about renewable sources. So wind, solar, I drew a blank. Wind, solar, those are renewable. These things happen all the time, but it takes millions and millions of years to come up with coal and oil. So yeah, it's non-renewable. It's not easy to replace them. Hello, Precious. Welcome. Good morning. So then let's move on to number 4. Mohammed is saying C. That was number 1. Number 1 was C. Number 2 was B. Number 3 is E. Number 4, deforestation. What can you tell me? Is it either D or A? We have again D or A. So Lorena is saying 4 is D, and ding, 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 you are winning the jackpot today when it comes to vocabulary. So deforestation is D, the clearing of forest for other uses. So like you have a lot of people talk about the deforestation that is happening in Brazil or in the Amazon in general. So yes, deforestation, exactly, guys. Everybody popping in here with your D's. And last but not least, an ecosystem is, I think A, because we had D and A, is a community of living things and their environment. So an ecosystem, and everything is sort of dependent on the other. I find that very fascinating. You lose one type of insect and it can have a butterfly effect. In this case. Yay, Arena. Yes, Yuki here. You know, I'm going to give Arena a little bit of clout here. Yay, Arena, Lorena. Okay, let's move on to our very last slide of today. I hope that everybody's okay and not like, you know, oh my gosh, this is ever going to end. It is, I swear, this is our last slide. So let's see. Let's move on to our very last point for today. And I have my veggies here. And so number 1, what is the importance of biodiversity? What can you tell me? What is the importance of biodiversity? The most amazing natural place is Machu Picchu. You get a lot of good energy and peace there. I would love to experience it. My partner visited it, and he went to a place on Machu Picchu that wasn't very touristic. He went also to the touristic part, but there was another area too, and that looked, the non-touristic part looked really cool. Thanks, Yuki, for the first time I know everything. Yeah, won't be the last time. All right, what is the importance of biodiversity? And maybe if that's a little too blah, 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 you can give me some examples of biodiversity. What can you tell me that you know about that topic? 4 was D and 5 was an A. Yes, exactly. You're right, Tony. Exactly. Butterfly effect. So in this case, when something happens and then everything is affected because of it. So like if a little fly dies, okay, and then the frog can't eat the fly, so then the frog loses its food source, and then whatever eats the frog also loses its food source. So that's when this sort of like a ripple effect is probably better said. A ripple effect, when you throw a stone in the water and you have all of these extra little circles that go around it, so things are then affected because of that. I would like to see lions in their natural habitat, and panda bears. Oh, I'd love to see pandas. Ah, yes, a chain. Yeah, like it's a chain, exactly. Like on a necklace, right? And you have little loops and then they're all connected together. So it's like a chain effect, a chain. I hope that helps, Yuki. So biodiversity. When I think of biodiversity, I think of in Ireland, I think in 19th, the early 19th, let me, before I start making history up, let me take a look and see. But they had the potato famine where farmers produced or they grew only one sort of potatoes. And then that worked really well for a number of years. And then the potatoes got infected by some sort of bug and they all died. And then lots of Irish people died because they didn't have enough to eat. It was the potato famine because there wasn't enough biodiversity. They only had one kind of potato and it got sick and then it carried this disease onto all the other potatoes. So for me, when I think of biodiversity, I think of how important it is just based on that one historical point. And I think because of the potato famine, a lot of people from Ireland moved to the United States. So it had all of these other effects. For example, if we lose bees, we might have serious problems. Yes, exactly, exactly. I want to see when the potato famine was, unless somebody knows that already. Potato, I'm going to guess 1880. I don't know. That is very true. Right. So potato, famine, Ireland facts. Here we go. So 1845. I wasn't so far off. Yeah, 1845 and in 1851. 1 million people died. That's wow. Because they decided to plant one kind of potato. We need to have our biodiversity. Tony, biodiversity keeps everything under control. If you eliminate one species, the ecosystem will not work well because of that alteration. Exactly. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, so that's what I think of when I think of biodiversity. Not the nicest thing. I guess you can think of positive examples too, where it's wonderful and works. Why is that not working? It says that I have only 10% left, but I'm actually plugged in. Oh, I've gone sideways. Oh my word, hold on one second. Hold on, let me just flip this like this and then it will go back. Ta-da! All right, my little magic trick. So let's move on to number 2. And what are the benefits of organic farming? Let's see, what are the benefits and what are the negatives maybe of organic farming? Biodiversity is all the different kinds of life you'll find in one area. It is vital. Yes, great description as well. Thank you, Alessio. Exactly. So biodiversity. What about organic farming? Is it important to you? Here, we'll do 2 and 3 kind of together. Yeah. Let's try to get out of here in 8 minutes because I don't want to hang on to you for forever. I know you have lives to do. And so I'm grateful that you're here. So how much food do you throw away? Okay, well, this is something different. My question was going to be, but I think I'm going to save that for tomorrow. So 2, what are the benefits of organic farming? And 3, how much food do you throw away and waste, expiration, etc.? Like, did you throw out because it's expired? So anything that's no longer okay is expired. We talked about the expiration date on food. I plant a lot of different vegetables, a lot of kinds of vegetables, you could say, in case of irregular climate conditions. Okay. And I love, oh gosh, now I'm going to draw a blank. I had it on my head last night. It starts with a P and it's a type of farming. And I was so addicted to this. And I don't know why my brain is not functioning today, but what is it called? Where you take different plants, it's when you try to plant things in a compatible way. So like if you plant carrots and dill together, then they work very well together because the dill kind of repels, it pushes away all kinds of insects and things from the carrots. Or if you plant basil and tomatoes, I think together, same thing. So it's kind of a compatible farming or something, but it's the thing I'm thinking of with a P. If somebody knows it, help me. And I had it and I wanted to think of it. I thought of it last night and now it's gone again. Organic food is rich in nutrients. Organic farming is without pesticides. Exactly, right? Are organic vegetables and foods easy to get where you live? Do you focus on buying those? Do you buy what you can? Yes. Thank you, Yuki. Companion plants. But what is the word that I'm looking for that starts with a P, where you plant things like you do in a forest? And oh, gosh, this is going to drive me crazy. Um, I had it on my head last night. I forced myself to remember it last night so I'd be able to tell you today, and it's gone. Not Peru farming. I don't know. Okay, type of farming that starts with a P. It's going to come to me. I'll write it in the thingy, in the comments. Oh, man. Avoid using pesticides and chemicals. It's much healthier for us. The main benefit is that we don't degrade the fertility of the soils, but the downside is that we cannot produce enough amount of food to supply the demand of the world. I will share it. I will definitely share it later on Instagram. I will also leave it in the comments if you happen to be watching the replay and don't know me on Instagram. Yeah, so I can't believe it's not there. I love this kind of farming. It's so cool and it looks beautiful and it's so logical. Because if you look at a forest, the way that it grows, there's so much diversity in a forest and everything is kind of helping each other. And so they have farms that start with a P, and they do this concept. They have this concept of trying to create this, forest-like experience. It's not stuff in rows, and they don't plow the field like we do. I watched this documentary years ago where a woman explained how, like, when farmers plow the field, it kind of kills the earth. It kind of rips it up and stuff, and then the birds come and eat the worms, and so it's kind of all of this domino effect, like we talked earlier, where it's just one thing happens after another. And yeah, anyway, this topic is really cool. Yuki, you will love this. If you don't know this already, I have to figure it out because this is something for you, I think. So folks, slowly but surely, we have to say goodbye. I appreciate you hanging out with me for 1 hour and 27 minutes. I'm very, very grateful for your time and for not leaving me here to talk on my own. That would be so boring. I love learning about your cultures and sharing different photos and things with me. I hope I don't go into YouTube hell for sharing different photos, but we will see. This will be the big test. Yeah, I appreciate your time. I will go live again. I swear the last time this week at 9 a.m. German time. That's CET. With my quiz. So yeah, if you can make it, that would be awesome. If not, I hope you will catch the replay. The topic will be Earth. Thank you. You're welcome, Lorena. The topic will be Earth. So it will be 10 different trivia questions about Earth with lots of vocabulary, opportunity for you to express what you think about things. You're welcome, Michaela. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. I really appreciate your time. I know it's a big ask to have people come over to YouTube, so thank you, thank you. If you know anybody who would enjoy our weekly lessons here, please invite them to come and join us. That would be wonderful. The more, the merrier. An idiom we learned last week, the more the merrier. You're welcome, Yuki, and see you at the next live. Nice. Take care. Bye, guys. Thank you, Alessio. Take care, guys. Bye.